Okay, so let's do some comments and then we're gonna get out of here. So Redo says Chad really went to ranting about single mother to abolishing welfare state. Dude, I'm just saying, think about it. The worst neighborhoods, the ghettos, the hoods, the projects where it's all the dope dealing and killing and prostituting, and what are the two things they all have in common? High concentration of single mothers and government assistance. Dude, it's right there. And I say that as someone who has benefited from the welfare state, you know, because I was raised in the projects, went to the country, came to the city, but you know, I've always been around these areas, you know, and you know, I was on food stamps. I had food stamps in my name, had my own card, so I've benefited from the welfare state. But I can also connect the dots and understand that, you know, this whole welfare state thing has had a humongous negative effect on a lot of communities, because it's one of those things where it creates like this new underclass that just becomes completely reliant and dependent on government assistance, right? And one of the worst effects of it is that it destroys the family unit, because what it essentially does is create a situation where you can have mothers with children who don't need a father or man in the house, because the government will act as, part provider, right? Oh, here's a place for you to live. Here's some food. Here's a little money. Here's a benefit. Here, you see, and it's just, I'm not gonna go. Look, if you want to hear my whole breakdown, go check out that episode of the podcast, because I think I did a good job presenting my case. But I'm just saying, man, every hood, project, ghetto, single mothers, government assistance. Orange Smile says, on a Risky Mosaic beat, your beat only music is nostalgic and always puts a smile on my face. You're my favorite music artist. Oh, woo. And you know I haven't been dropping a lot of beats recently. It's just that I got my toes in so much shit, streaming and finishing up drill music and podcasts. I'm doing videos now, but I'm just, and then I got my part-time job, working out, reading. It's so much to do. But I'm really loving it. Like, just every day trying to figure out how to fit everything into the day, into the week, into the month. I really love this shit. And I foresee a point where everything kind of comes together and I'm able to give everybody what they want consistently. You know, I know some guys, they want the beats. Some guys want the songs. Some guys want the streams. Some guys want the video game streams. Like, everybody kind of wants something different. The anime reviews. And I'm working towards getting everything out consistently. It's hard putting everything together, but you know, I love hearing stuff like that. Haha with a story mark says on the Escape from the Hood episode of the podcast, thanks for replying to my MGTOW comment. Your enthusiasm and happiness at being who you are is uplifting and inspiring. Keep up the great work and look forward to the next one. Yeah. I'm glad I can inspire others. But yeah, that's for me, man. I swear, rule number one is being myself. Cause when I think back to when I was a teenager, when I was a kid, like, I really just felt like a leaf in the wind. I didn't give a fuck about myself. I didn't care about nothing really, bro. Like, I was just eating junk food, playing video games. But I think that the moment when I really started to like myself was the moment where I had internally decided that, you know, no matter what, even if the whole world turned its back on me, I would always love myself, you know? And I wasn't just saying that, I really felt that, cause even though at that point I was still like way fucked up, there was something there, right? I felt that I was a diamond in the rough. And I know that sounds so cliche, but I really felt that, and that's where that feeling and that promise came from, was that I felt something within myself that was great and that I love, and I just latched onto that, and it was so beautiful that I knew like nothing anyone else could say or do to me would make me turn my back on that. Like and that's, to this day, I think that's the foundation of who I am. That's why I always say being myself is my number one priority, because that's like, I didn't care about life. I didn't care about myself until I decided that. I didn't really care about anything until I acknowledged, you know what? I like me, right? I like E-Man. I like Emmanuel. And I'm gonna ride or die with this nigga. And so that's just the foundation of who I am. And I can't tell other people how to think or view themselves, but I always say, bro, like if you believe in having a code or principles, for me, rule number one has always been just be yourself. Just be and love yourself, bro. So Tactical Apathy says on the same video, what are your thoughts on the Black Women Divest movement and the Black Man SYSBM movement? Save yourself, Black man. Perhaps the best thing for the community is to separate from each other. God damn. I've never heard of the Black Women Divest movement, but I have heard of SYSBM because I've heard Coach Greg Adams talk about it. He's mentioned it like a few times. And yeah, it's save yourself, Black men. You know, I think it's absolutely true. I think this whole idea of trying to save the community, I think is foolish. It's like trying to save the Titanic. Like and I think a lot of it has to do with the points that I brought up in my particular video, that particular podcast, about, you know, what's really causing the Black community to suffer and degrade so much. I think a lot of it are just things that it seems like a lot of people aren't willing to confront. You know, a lot of people aren't willing to get out of this mindset of, okay, let's vote for Democrats because they give us the most benefits. They give us all this welfare and make all these promises, right? A lot of people don't want to confront women as far as, you know, their mate selection practices, right? Maybe you shouldn't shoot, like just look at all the shit that Kevin Samuels get just for telling women, hey, maybe you shouldn't date gangbangers and drug dealers, right? And people want to call him all kind of names just for saying simple shit like that. I mean, I understand his delivery method is kind of abrasive, right? But it's very simple. Look, stop reproducing gangbangers. But people don't want to have that conversation. People don't want to talk about that. People don't, because then you gotta confront, you know, the beast of female mate selection, right? And so yeah, I completely agree, because it's like people don't really want to confront the major issues that's going to always keep these communities held back. And you know, I even talk to my mom sometimes about stuff like this. Like I'm telling her, like, okay, like the whole thing about the welfare state and the Democrats and Biden and this and that, and it'll seem like she's listening to me. Like, okay, she's like, I'm getting through to her. But then I'll hear her talking to my sister or other women, and it's like she's right back in that same mindset of thinking that Biden is gonna save the day, and right. And it's like I'm just talking to a wall. And so yeah, I do think that the solution is not to try to save these communities, at least not like from the inside out. I think what we're seeing in particular with the Black manosphere, with these guys, because you look at these different guys who have kind of risen to the top of the barrel, what you'll notice is that a lot of them regardless of where they came from, they're either moving towards or have already put themselves in like better situations as far as like finances, their where they live and whatnot. And they're trying to give the game to younger guys, right? And so I think the best case scenario is going to be guys who come from these, you know, these poor, these poor, very unproductive, unsafe black areas. The best case scenario is going to be for them to find these messages and then fight and claw their way out of these situations and put themselves into a better environment, and then practice better mate selection and reproduce in a new, cleaner, healthier environment. But this whole idea of saving, because let's be real, when we say the black community, for the most part, we're talking about the hood, we're talking about the pride, like that's what we're talking about, right? You don't need to save the black suburbs. Right? And so I think that whole idea in of itself is foolish unless you're going to direct your attention to the big things that are keeping things the way that they are, which it seems like most people just aren't. Then the best case scenario is to just escape from the hood. And I think what we're seeing is with these guys, again, save yourself. I think that's the best case scenario, right? Get yourself out of that situation, put yourself in a better environment, learn about what good mate selection means and what it is, and you know, spread your seed in a better environment with healthier people, right? And then it'll grow from there. But I think we got to get out of this mindset of trying to save the hood and all that, because it's not enough people who are willing to who are really willing to confront the issue. Because if we did, things are going to get worse before they get better. I know it's not easy to just say, oh, fuck the welfare state, fuck the food stamp. Like, it's going to get hard. If we really confronted that shit, it's going to get worse before it gets better, period. But unless you're willing to go through that pain, then it's never going to change. So yeah, I think that getting yourself out of these situations is the best case scenario. Whether you're a man or a woman, put yourself in a healthier environment and practice good mate selection, reproduce, and just start from there, you know? So Agadius says, melancholy is still one of my favorites. Was just thinking about it the other day. LOL. Me too. I still listen to it regularly. Rap Shout says, I love that, because when I first made Melancholy, bro, and looking back, it's such a dumb song. It's so dumb. I'm not talking about anything. It's so random. It's such a random song, bro. Like, I'm talking about, like, I shouted out Sasha Grey, and I'm pulling up in a car. I ain't have a car back then. Man, and that's a song that I gotta do a video for. I gotta do a video for it, because I know I'm gonna just go dumb. I'm gonna just go dumb with that shit. And that is something about that song though, bro. That song is special. It's that song is like has that same appeal of like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, in that it's just so random and dumb, but it's fun too, man. That song is special to my heart. So Rob Ramsey says, Adult Swim needs to hire you. Now that's a great compliment, because you know Adult Swim always had like those great bump, like, did they call it like bump music or something? The music they would play, but like between showing the different shows and shit like that. So yeah, man, get me on board. I got y'all. Shit, I can make some dope Adult Swim intermission beats. So haha, what a story mark says on the Incels Are Too Logical video, normies are definitely delusional, and it absolutely works in their favor. It comes down to it being a survival mechanism, because even if you succeed one time out of 500, that one time could result in impregnating a girl and fulfilling your biological desires. So it makes sense for the mind to keep trying in the face of complete failure time and time again. And not being bitter or defeatist about rejection also increases your odds. Yeah, it requires a certain level of delusion. And when I talk about this, like, I'm not trying to talk down on normies or incels. I'm just trying to explain to people that like why incels think the way that they do. Like, it's not like they're not being unreasonable, and that's what I'm trying to get people to understand, right? And that's why I use the example of, like, what was it, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. You would never say you're crazy for thinking Jake Paul couldn't beat prime Mike Tyson, right? Or even going to something that really happened, you know, Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas. Nobody thought Buster Douglas had a chance. Like, the odds were what was it, 1-31 or 1-50, some crazy shit like that. But Buster Douglas won, right? But no one would have said you were unreasonable for thinking that Mike Tyson was going to run right through him. And so what I'm saying is the power of the mind is so important. Like, and the way you think about things and your belief system, your belief in yourself. And, you know, guys always talk about how confidence is important with dealing with women, how confidence and your attitude is important in attracting women. But then to turn around and criticize incels for how they are, right, when they have literally no ground to stand on as far as developing confidence in regards to women, I think that's absolutely silly. You know, and just like I've said before, you go and ask out a girl, you got a 90% chance to 95% chance of her saying no. Or rather, there's a 90 to 95% chance that she's not attracted to you. A 90% chance that she already has a boyfriend or a husband, and at least a coin flip of a chance that she's toxic or crazy or some shit like that nowadays. And with all this going against you, it's like, you know, how are you supposed to feel good about those odds? That's going to affect your confidence. That's going to affect your mental game. And I think that a lot of guys just kind of undermine or try to discredit why incels don't have confidence in regards to getting women when it's really, you know, it's pretty obvious. Satori Blue says this one is a banger, Chad, on Poppin' Sensu. I forgot about that damn song. That was for the Super Saiyan Kush 2. Man, I was trying to make a song out of any damn Dragon Ball Z reference, bro. I was like, oh, Sensu beans, oh, pop beans, Sensu pop. Okay, I got it. Right, I'm glad somebody appreciated that song though. And Hellbreaker says on the Final Attack song, add it to my workout playlist. To me, that's the highest honor. For someone to put your song in their workout playlist, there is no higher honor. I mean, that to me, that's it right there. That's it. So Fizzy says on the Lonely Drivers Club episode of the Nightwalk vlog, 21 was a neat since I was 17, got my first part-time job a few months ago, then switched to a full-time position, saving up for a car and getting ready to get my learner's permit. We are gonna make it, bros. Haven't we come so far? haven't we come so damn far, man? And I can't lie, I was a little worried that as I kind of progressed, you know, got my part-time job, got a car and everything, like maybe I would alienate some of my fan base. But it's cool to see that, you know, people are rooting for me as far as, you know, getting my life together, getting my shit together. I'm glad to see that everybody's still riding along with my wave, you know, because I came into this just, man, I'm a full-blown neat, fuck it. Right, and now I got a part-time job, I got a car, you know, but I guess a lot of it just has to do with the fact that through it all, I'm still Chad Marco. I'm still me. Really, not much has changed. You know, it's just that I've hit these little normie milestones. I think the big one is gonna be if I ever get a girlfriend. That's gonna be the one that's really going to that's really gonna test the loyalty of my fan base, I think. You know, are people really gonna be able to ride with Chad Marco when he getting bitches, or if should I ever get bitches? So Redo says on the Final Attack song, the second verse feels like Chad on Super Saiyan SSJ. I wish I would have recorded myself recording that, like with my camera, cause I recorded myself recording Space Love, but I ain't put that out. But I've been thinking about just recording some of my recording on camera, some of my recording set. I wish you guys could see, like I was going in. I mean, when I rap like that, I feel like I'm possessed, bro. Because right now I'm just kind of chill mode. But when I really like, it's so fun. It's so fun. You guys just don't know. Like when you get to that point where you got a good grasp of like rapping, and not just rapping, but being able to go fast and switch it up and to put that intense energy on top of it. The whole time I was doing it, it was like, cause you know, I got to do like multiple takes. So it's like, I'll power up and just, and then I got to stop, do it again, stop, do it again. And it's like, I swear, like my face changes, like my eyes be wide, like my eyes be about to pop out of my head. I be, it's like I turn into a damn monster, bro. When I be rapping like that, it takes me, it puts me in a whole different headspace, and I love that shit. That shit feel good. United Technates of America says on the Final Attack song, nothing brightens up my day like seeing a new Chad Marco track in my feed. And you know, it's kind of unfortunate because I don't put a lot of songs out like that, but I think part of what's good about it is that it makes the anticipation that much more. It makes it like when I finally put something out, it's that much more impactful. It's like, oh, finally, damn. And because the thing about me, bro, I could put out more songs, but I'm not I think a lot of rappers, they just put out music just to put out music. And I'm just not that type. Like, I really put a lot of care into making my beats and writing the song, and I make adjustments. Like, even with Final Attack, like I had to change the hook around and damn, trying to figure out the ad libs, and had to, man, dude, you would just, the amount of time I spent trying to get the ad libs right. Right? Oh, it's too loud and I gotta cut this one out. I mean, I put a lot of love into this shit, and so I think that, you know, unfortunately I don't put a lot out, but when I do, it always makes a bit of a splash, because you know, like, you know, when I put something out, it's made with care and love, down from the beat all the way to the recording process. I take it 100% seriously. So Satori Blue says on the Final Attack song, Chad, you really improved the complexity of your rhyme schemes. This is amazing. I have a premonition that you're going to get popular soon. Happy for you, bro. Think your cocoon is hatching. And over here in Chad Marco land, we're going to do what it takes to make your premonition come true. But yeah, the improve the complexity of your rhyme schemes. Yeah, I think, now I'm not sure exactly what part you're talking about, but I know like one part that stands out to me is like the other guy was saying, like that second verse. How did it go? When no feeling moody, don't bring that shit to me. I'm cleaning you up, ain't no messing around. Hunt for the booty, they calling me Luffy. I turn up and get it, no stretching them out. Right, like right there. So I'm not just rhyming the end, right? I ain't messing around, stretching them out. Like, okay, that's a rhyme, kinda, right? But I'm rhyming within the lines, right? When I'm feeling moody, don't bring that shit to me. I hunt for the booty, they calling me Luffy. So within the line, I'm rhyming, but I'm also rhyming at the end, which is the traditional way to do it. So yeah, like that's, man, but it's just having fun. It's just having fun with the writing process. But it's like an art. It's really like an art. I don't understand these guys who write songs in 15 minutes and like, because to me, when I write songs, it's more akin to like when you would watch a manga artist like drawing like one page, like one page of Berserk. Like that's that's how I make my songs, bro. Like writing and making beats is like drawing to me. It's very slow and meticulous and detailed, but you know, that's how I'm able to do stuff like that. So Matrix Mediator, what is it? Meditator? Shit was downloaded on my phone from like 4 years ago. Had to reset it and lost everything. Glad I was able to find some of your old SoundCloud beats. Still a few I can't find though. Damn. But that's on the Green Herb beat. That's one of my favorite beats right there, dude. I love that beat. That's one of my best ones for sure. But I don't know which ones you can't find because I just go, man, I upload most of them, like 80 to 90%. I got a couple on my hard drive I ain't uploaded. But I uploaded most of them. So just go through the SSJ Chat Marco Beats playlist. So Susan doesn't understand fair use says, sex isn't everything, but nothing will ever replace having a family. That was on the Life as a 28-year-old virgin. And you know, I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think it's pretty obvious that having a family is a very fulfilling thing for a man, you know, to have children that you take care of and you influence and you help them develop, and to have a woman in your life who's by your side, you know, you have constant access to her body for fucking and you know, she has your back, she's raising you. Again, I get it, I get the whole family thing, I get the appeal of that, but I think just I believe that in our society, it's too hard and too risky to make that work. You know, I would never try to undermine the value of that and how fulfilling that would be for a man when it works. But I think the issue is that it's hard to make that work in our society now. Because I don't want to, again, I'm not going to blame everything on the state of modern women because it's the state of men as well. I think we've all been affected by these various agendas or neglect by our parents, abuse, all kind of things. Like we're all kind of traumatized in one way or another. And I think the unfortunate side effect is that it's created this situation where we're kind of better off alone, right? And, you know, just to jump up and say, well, I'm going to have a family. It's not some easy thing anymore. It's not something you can just jump up and do and everything's going to work out, because it's one of those things where, when it works, it's a beautiful thing. When it doesn't, it's life ruining. It destroys you. I mean, look at what Kanye West is going through right now with his divorce from Kim Kardashian. Now I know that's like a celebrity example, but I think that like what you see there, I think is a good example of the problem with relationships in our society now, where it's like, you get together, it's all fun and cool in the beginning. Oh, she got a big booty and I'm called Mr. Cool Guy. You start having kids and then, you know, you're still changing as people. She's changing, you're changing, and you're not on the same page anymore, right? As far as like how you want to raise your kid, right? Because the whole issue right now with Kim and Kanye is like he doesn't want the daughter on TikTok and Kim does. And it's shit like that, bruh. Like right there, bro. And that's part of the problem. It's like, it's so many. And in fact, you know, I'm going to do a video on this, but you know, it's just a whole power struggle within relationships. And that's just one thing, bro. But again, I think that, you know, having a family would be a wonderful thing, but I don't think we live in an environment that's really in line with that goal. We don't have a mindset for that. the environment isn't for that. I just feel like it's so many forces that are just working against having that work, right? Like the moment that we made divorce trivial and normalized, marriage has been a joke ever since. Like shit, like just period, right? When people are at the point where it's like, well, I don't like you anymore, so we got to split this. Like it's fuck no. And for me personally, the fact is that I'm not trying to replace having a like I'm not trying to like I just am happy. I just am good. Right? And that's enough for me. Would I be happier, more fulfilled if I had a working, thriving, healthy family unit? Maybe. But the fact is, even without that, I'm very much happy. I'm very much appreciative of my life. I have nothing to complain about. And for me, that's enough. But for a lot of guys, it's not. So Eric Williams says on the Night Drive live stream, cruise and listen to, I'm tripping. Eric Williams says Night Drive live stream, cruise and listen to music. But the problem there is that I got an old stereo. It's an old like 2006 Suburban truck. And I might put a picture up eventually so I can show off. Yeah, it's got an old broken CD player. So I gotta get the stereo replaced. I gotta get that shit replaced. My mom had one laying around, so she like, you halfway there. I got one right here, but I gotta pay someone to basically replace the old broken CD player with a new one. So I can't even listen to I cannot wait though. I can't wait till I get that shit right, because we already got one on the side. I just got to find somebody to install it, but that's going to cost like a few $100s easy. So it might be a while before I do that. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the day where I can, I can play my music in the car and, oh God damn. Play my anime music, Bone Thugs. I can't wait. So Eric Williams again says on the Won't Go Out Today video, been waiting on the live vids for so long. They tell so much of the story in a way that words can't express. You should do a vid of that couldn't say hello and hire a model. That night walk would be dope too. Just take a drive out to the middle of nowhere or some shit. Both very good ideas. I don't want to divulge too much, but just know that I'm processing all of this. I got a lot of ideas. I'm making investments. I'm making shit happen. So John Doe says on the Chad Marco Snow Day stream, I have schizophrenia and am disabled and I'm ugly. How can I get in contact with you? Do you have Discord? I've been listening to your music for years. I do have Discord, but I haven't been up there a lot lately. I'm trying to get up there a lot more. But another thing that I'm doing, I'm going to start doing more like live streams, not just the video game streams, but I'm thinking like twice a month, I might do like a live stream just like that. And I'm going to make sure that I get everybody in the know to be prepared for when I'm going on. But that's another thing that I'm going to start doing more regularly, like the actual live streams where I'm on camera talking to people and not just playing video games. Because when I do the video game streams, I'm trying to do both, but I'm more focused on the game because I'm chilling playing the game, kind of hanging out with you guys. But with that, when I'm just on camera, then I can focus completely on you guys, and we can kind of really chop it up for real. So Susan Doesn't Understand Fair Use says on the Lonely Drivers Club episode of the Nightwalk vlog, I learned to drive when I was 18. Too bad I have nowhere to go and most people around here drive like assholes. So you risk your life every time you get on the road. Yeah, dude. And my goal is to be a safe driver. Like that's my mentality is safe driver, obey the law, obey the, like I'm going to be a complete square. No speeding, none seatbelt on, turning signal. Like that's my mindset when I'm driving. Like when I drive, I'm thinking like I'm a damn taxi driver with 4 babies in the back, right? Oh man, but I'm already noticing like people doing crazy shit around me though. Like I'll be right on the speed limit, right? Like if the speed limit is 35, I'm hovering from like 32 to like 36, right? Like I'm right there on the speed limit. People still want to pass and get in front of me. It's crazy. And man, I'm trying to think, like some weird shit happened. Some weird shit happened where like a guy did like this crazy maneuver where like he just slid right around me to get in front of me, and it was very weird. Like it did not look, I'm gonna just say it did not look safe. Even though he looked like an expert driver, it looked like he was doing some risky shit at my expense. So yeah, man, no matter how safe you drive as a driver, you always got to worry about the people around you. And just something funny real quick. You know how when you're driving and you're passing intersections, right? But you can just go straight through because there's not a stop sign, there's not a stoplight, nothing like that. When I'm driving past those intersections at like 35, 40, 45, I can't help but be like, I'm always thinking like somebody's just gonna just run that stop sign and run right into my car. Like, it's crazy though, because driving is such a vulnerable position to be in, because even though I know what I'm thinking is unlikely, like shit like that has happened. Somebody could just run a stop sign and smash right into my car, right? And I'm having to get used to that feeling of vulnerability that, you know, I'm hoping that everybody is obeying the law and has concern for the safety of not only themselves, but the people around them. But man, that's not always the case.